Hi everyone, let's work on creating a scatter plot using your calculator. So remember, to get ready for a scatter plot, we're going to first turn on our calculator, go to mode, and make sure when we go down to stat diagnostics that it is turned on. So say for example, your stats diagnostic is highlighted with off. You want to go to the on, press enter, and that way we make sure it's on. You only have to do this once for when we're getting ready for a scatter plot. Okay? Then the next step is going to be to press stat when we're going to be ready to put in the information. We're not ready yet, so let's put the calculator to the side. And this is what we did to get ready for the scatter plot. You press mode, we went to stat diagnostics, you pressed on, and then you could enter for the calculator to read it. Okay, so in this first example, Mrs. Palmisano asked her students how many hours of sleep they had the night before a test. Then once they took the test, she compared the hours of sleep to the score that they got in the test. So the first step we're going to do is we are going to graph this. Remember, our first row are usually our x values, so let's write that. And our second row are usually our y values. So that means our x here is the number of hours slept. So you want to make sure you label that axis. And the y-axis is your test score. And let's label that. Okay, the lowest we went were 4 hours of sleep, much too low, and the highest was 9. So when I take a look here, if this starts with 0, I can probably use, for every box, count by 1. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that way we've used most of the graph on this side. Over here, we notice that the lowest score was 63 and the highest score was 90. So since there's nothing we're going to graph below a 63, we're going to do what's called a break. Looks like a little lightning bolt. And that just says from 0 to here is a whole bunch of space that we're not going to graph, so we don't need to show it on our graph. So let's start here with 60. And our highest score is a 90. So we want to know, what does it take to get to 90? What should we count by? If we counted by tens, this is 70, 80, 90. We would finish the graph much too soon. What if we count by fives? 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. That's about halfway. What if we count by threes? 63, 66, 69, 72, 75, 78, 81, 84, 87, and we would make it to 90. So 3 would be a good amount to do. So pause the video and count up, counting by threes each time. Then start the video again. Okay, and now let's graph this. So 883 means somebody who slept for 8 hours ended up getting, let's go up here, this is 81, this is 84, so it's a little bit below that, 83 on the test. Someone who slept 7 hours got an 86, so here's 7, and I'm going to go all the way up, a little bit below 87, this is an 86. Another person who slept 7 hours got a 74. So we go up to 72, a little bit lower than 75. Someone who slept 8 hours got an 88. So here's 8 hours, and they got an 88. And so on. So stop the video, graph the rest of the points, and start the video again. Okay, let's take a look at what we see. If I was going to draw a trend line, which is a line that I want to draw that's between most of the data points, it would probably look something like this. And what kind of line is that? This is showing from left to right, it goes up, so this is a positive correlation. So positive correlation means as this increases my x value, my y values are also increasing. So now I ask you for an equation of the trend line. So we have our calculator. Let's use that to find the equation. We're going to go back to entering data. So grab your calculator, turn it on. We're going to press Stat. Then we go to Edit. We're already on Edit, so press Enter. And now we're going to put values in L1 and L2. If we already have values there, move your arrows till you're up on L1. Press Clear. Clear is right below the arrow key, so press Clear, and then press Enter. Those disappear. Let's do the same thing with L2. I'll move to the right and then up to L2. I first have to tell the calculator I want to get rid of that, so I press Clear, and then I press Enter. Okay, it's all set for us. So the hours slept, I type 8, press Enter, 7, Enter, 7, Enter, 8, Enter, 6, Enter, 5, Enter, 7, Enter, 4, Enter, 9, Enter, 7, Enter. This says it's ready for my 11th term, which means I typed in 10. So let's make certain we did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're right. Now let's type in the Y values. I move my right arrow. It jumps up to the top, and let's type that in. 83, 86, 74. I'm going to pretend to make a mistake. 8. I'm going to come back to that. 76, 63, 90, 60, 89, and 81. I need to make sure that whatever values I have here, I have the same number of values here. And then I said, wait a second, I meant to write 88, not 8. So I go up to here, and I just type 88 and press Enter. And that's the way I can correct my values. Okay, so we put our information in. Now let's get the equation and correlation coefficient. So I press Stat. Okay, I'm going to go to Calc. So I move my right arrow to Calc. I'm going to go to number 4. So you could either move your arrow down to 4 and press Enter, or if I'm up here, I can just type the number 4. And now I'm going to press Enter to get to the next screen. Keep on pressing Enter. And now I have my information. So my equation of the trend line, let's do this to the nearest tenth. If my A value is 6.4 and my B value is 35.6 to the nearest tenth, the equation of my line, y equals ax plus b, would be y equals 6.4x plus 35.6. That's the equation of this line that I wrote. Now, what's the correlation coefficient? Well, that's the number next to the r. Let's do that to the nearest hundredth, 0.88. So if I asked you to explain what that means, well, first off, this is positive, and it's pretty strong. If you had an 88 test score, most people would be happy enough with that. You might want to have a bit higher, but 88 is still very decent. It's mastery. Well, what does that mean with this? It means as the number of hours slept increases, so as the number of hours increases, positive means the Y value also increases. The test score will most likely increase. We don't know that for sure, but we're saying from the data here, that's what we're seeing. The more hours somebody slept, the better their test score tended to be. All right, and let's take a look at this last one. If someone slept 8.5 hours, predict the score the person might get on the exam. So if you slept 8.5 hours, Remember, hours is our x value. So we're saying x is 8.5. So you're going to take your equation, y equals 6.4x plus 35.6. And wherever I see x, I am going to replace it with 8.5. So y equals 6.4 times 8.5 plus 35.6. Let's grab your calculator. Let's quit out of this and get to your display and type this whole thing in. 6.4 times 8.5 plus 35.6. Ah, wow, I get a 90. So what does that mean? If someone sleeps 8.5 hours, we predict they will get a 90 on the exam. And is this a matter of interpolation or extrapolation? Interpolation means this 8.5 hours is between other data. Extrapolation means it's either all the way to the right or to the left of the data. So 8.5, I still have another data point to the side. So this is interpolation. My 8.5 hours is in between the data points. Okay, so what you can do is now try your homework. If you get stuck, you can take a look at the second SOS video that will be posted later. Take care.